Hello everyone, this is Mark Gross, the Superintendent of the Mars Area School District, giving you a weekly update once again. We're continuing to run and as fast as we can, sprint in getting all of our reopening plans in order. I do want to thank everyone for coming this past week, those that were able to attend, and most of all, can't say it enough, absolutely amazed by the respectable manner in which everyone conducted themselves, even when things may not be 100% agreeable. We are doing the very best to listen, we're doing the very best to be open-minded, and we're being very upfront when we can as not to mislead throughout this process. So today I just want to give another little update, but again, just thank you so much. It's a great place to be, great place to work. The outpouring of emails after that community meeting have been wonderful. It just reaffirms that slowly we're going to be reunifying, coming together and making sure we're all partners in education as we go through this together. So just wanted to say a very special thank you for everybody for their questions and their attitude and their demeanor throughout that community forum. It made things much nicer than what I hear happens at other places. It says a lot about our community. I'll move to the survey. Getting a lot of questions about the survey, as you know. It was mailed out. We're asking you to select live, we're asking you to select live stream, or we're asking you to select the cyber option. A lot of folks have expressed how difficult that is, especially not knowing like how many are going to be in a class. We're in the same boat. This survey is really going to give us a good idea when that comes back. We're asking you to complete that by Sunday, because as soon as we get those results, we want to take a look, specific to grade level, specific to buildings, so specific to individual classes, and just try to get an idea of what that social distancing will look like. So if you selected that option not knowing, we should be able to, in rather quick order, give you a general sense of what that social distancing looks like based upon those coming back and those are choosing to stay home. So I know it's a difficult process. It's not an exact science, but do your best to pick what you believe in your heart and soul is best for your children right now, that keeps them safe. That's the most important thing. If you do not feel comfortable, we have that second option that we created especially for those folks. We understand it's a tough decision that we can't make for you, but we tried to provide that checklist that may help you through that process. Getting a lot of questions about the live stream interaction. If you know at the meeting we talked about every teacher would be doing that. That way, every teacher's trained, should there be a closure or things like that. I've had a lot of people email about, they feel that maybe it would make more sense that we designate one teacher or two, that we have specific LSI teachers, and then we have specific traditional teachers. And we really did take a hard look at that. At the end of that meeting, I heard that theme at our meeting the other night too, and I was hearing you, and I'm thinking it does make a lot of sense. Coming back, and I'm not finished with it, so I don't want to bust that balloon yet, but I do want to be very upfront. The issue that it creates, if we create just LSI teachers and just traditional teachers, that would be absolutely, a no-brainer, common sense approach, that you have those LSI at our home getting one teacher, and you have those in the traditional model getting another teacher. Things are great. That's in a very static environment. So if we're in a traditional year and we just have that as an option, that it makes sense. So I'm hearing what you're saying. We're hearing what you're saying. In analyzing that, though, we do know we want to be extremely flexible. We talked the other night about, if you're in the traditional setting and maybe there's a COVID outbreak, not necessarily in our school, but in our community, and you're feeling a little antsy and you want to keep your child home. What we don't want to create is a situation where when you choose to keep your child home in the traditional setting, that they're now moving to a whole different teacher who's LSI, and then when they're ready to return to school, they come back to a different teacher because they're the only ones teaching traditional. So I'm leaning heavily towards continuing to stick with the fact that we want to be flexible. We know we're going to need to be. We know people are going to fall ill. not necessarily with COVID, but people are going to choose the 5-day option and stay home. I don't want to put you in a situation where your child's home ill or you make that choice and I say, well, you can't get instructed by that teacher because they're traditional. So now we got to move you to the LSI teacher just for that day or two, or perhaps it's a week. It creates a situation where we maybe, if we only designated folks, it would be moving people between two teachers. And I hope you're following, and I'll try to be more articulate about that if not. We want to be very fluid. We want you to have the opportunity to feel that when you feel your child needs to stay home, that's okay. They can then go on LSI, but it'd be nice if they have that same teacher throughout that process. I do predict fluidity throughout this. So I'm leaning right now with my administrative team and I understand if we were in a static environment, it'd be completely different. It would make sense, just designate people and you have that teacher. But we're gonna have students in and out of A and B. I truly feel that's gonna happen. I feel that's gonna happen by choice, parental choice in some cases. And I think that is possible to happen, not due to your choice. It could be a day or two where we, like I said, we're still working through those things where we need to maybe shut things down and get things cleaned before we bring folks back. That's where we are right now, not slamming the door on it. I'm here, I'm continuing to get emails, and I'm trying my best to see how we could do that without not only necessarily impacting the child, but even our teachers. I can't imagine that, I have a class of students in any given day. It's changing any given day. It would be nice to know that a teacher knows who their students are, and they're going to be with that teacher whether they're in the class or whether they're home. It just creates that continuity. So I hope that makes sense, but there'll be more to come on that if I need to explain that further. So it's a little more complex than just doing it that way. So I hope you understand that. The other thing, the calendar, as you know, changed. The calendar, we're moving our students' start date back to August 31st because we know we need more time to get our teachers ready. We're using that entire first week. And literally, I basically am saying to stay out of their way, to provide the professional development they need just to get things off the ground. And I don't know how many of you out there are teachers or understand how difficult this is going to be. It's not easy, but I think we're all in this together. We need to provide that support that's necessary to them and send the message that we need to give them time to get ready. So first day of school now be August 31st. Our teachers will be preparing the week before. The orientation dates. The orientation dates will now all be virtual. We'll continue to get you more information about that. The orientation, the principals will basically kick that off, but then the individual teachers will then do the Zoom. It'll be virtual. Wish we could do it a better way, but right now, we will unfortunately have to do the orientations in a virtual format. It's not the greatest way to do an orientation, not the way we want to do an orientation, but it seems to be what makes the most sense right now. Classroom assignment letters are always a hot topic. I had young kids, they've grown older. I know how important that is to know who their children are and, who your children's teachers are. And those assignment letters will not go out in the mail this year, but if you want to mark your calendar for August 18th, those assignment letters will be posted on August 18th in Skyward. They will not be mailed. So please mark that on your calendar, August 18th. Posted onto Skyward. And again, why are we not getting those out? Because we need to get the survey results back. We need to see how many students are going where, and then we can finalize those assignments. So thanks for your patience. The following day, on the 19th, buildings will be open for orientation. So on the following day, you will be given a very specific designated time where you may actually come in and enter the building. And the reason it's structured that way is obviously due to social distancing and the mandates that we're under right now with a number of individuals in a building at a time. So principals will be sending that out, posting that, getting that information to you. So you will have the ability to come in with your child to get into the schools. With that being said, it's been very busy. Like I said, we're sprinting and not jogging. Things continue to change daily. Our updates change daily. Governor Wolf had a press conference today and alluded to some possible implications to sports. And as we speak, at the time I'm recording this, it's about 10 to 4. The PIAA is supposedly in an emergency meeting to discuss what this recommendation is for athletics. So we're in an ever-changing environment. I hope you're hanging in there with us, and again, I think you are, based on the emails I've received, and based on the feedback from the community forum and your attitude and demeanor at that forum itself. I believe that we all understand where we are in this, and none of us are perfect, and we are doing the absolute very best for you and your children. Continue to reiterate, we know we work for you. The center of the universe is not us, it's you and your children. So we're doing the very best to try to fit the needs of everyone across that spectrum that I talked about at the community forum. So with that being said, bear with us. We're still working through the LSI designated. That seems to be the hot request from us, designate teachers. Again, we're compromised a little bit because of that fluidity that we want. We want a parent to be able to say, I'm reluctant to send you today, just log on, and I want your children to be with that same teacher. And I want teachers to know who their children are, so that on any given day it's not ever changing. But we're looking at that. If there's a feasible way to do it, we will. But right now I'm sort of at a standstill with that request, and I hope you get that. So with that being said, I probably talked too much, but I'll continue to give you updates as much as I possibly can throughout this process. Love working for you, love working for this community, and look forward to educating our children and continuing to be partners in education, not only up and through the summer, but in the upcoming months. So we'll continue to work together to make sure that we're getting this right. Thank you so much, and as always, have any questions, feel free to send an email. I do get backed up on emails, but some of you were getting emails last night, 11:30. I'm trying to keep up. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.